ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंदप्रदायिने कलौ कल्मषनाशाय जानवापतये नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are discussing from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2nd, I think verse number 39. एषत्यभीता सांख्ये बुद्धियोगे तु इमां शृणु बुद्धया युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि. So we discussed about this verse from last 4 days. So this is the beginning of first verse of the second last section, Buddhi Yoga. Krishna is going to explain about Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga means to work without being attached to the results of the work. And to work specifically yoga. Yoga means to work for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. That is the meaning of yoga. So we discussed the purport. Half of the purport we discussed. So we'll go ahead. So in this verse, Lord Krishna is mentioning about Sankhya. Eshatyabhita Sankhya. Till now, oh my dear Arjuna, till now I have described you about the truth analytically. And Krishna analyzed very nicely the difference between body and soul. And in this way, Krishna established the fact that we are not this body. So we should leave all the designations related to the body and come to the platform of a spirit soul. So Arjuna should not lament, thinking that these are my relatives, friends, how can I kill them? No, Arjuna should clearly understand that he is not the body. He is not he is not Kshatriya also. But because Arjuna could not immediately accept, then Lord Krishna in second section, uh, he explained that even if you think yourself to be Kshatriya, then you should act like a proper Kshatriya. Now, the duty of a proper Kshatriya is to fight for for establishing dharma. So how can you neglect to fight? And if you neglect to follow your dharma, Kshatriya dharma, then you are a Kshatriya only name only. And people will blaspheme you. Akirti chapi bhutani vadashanti tavahita. The people will blaspheme you, and that will be maranadapi richate, worse than death. The Kshatriya, if he doesn't act for the establishment of dharma, then he is a Kshatriya in name only. He is not at all a Kshatriya. He is as good as Shudra. Sudra means miser, Kripana or Shudra. The two terms have been explained in the scriptures, Brahmana and Kripana. Brahmana means liberal minded. Brahman means whose mind and senses are controlled. And Kripana means one whose mind and senses are uncontrolled. So anyone, whether he has taken birth as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or whatever, if he is unable to control his mind and senses, if he is becoming too much attached for material things, material sense gratification, then he is a Sudra. He is Kripana, miser person. So in this way, even at the material level also, Krishna encouraged Arjuna that you follow the dharma of a Kshatriya and fight. But now Krishna is transcending this material dharma also. One should give up this misconception of Varnashram dharma also, that I am a Brahmana, I am a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. No. So when one gives up his identity as any of this material world, all the material designations, then actually he begins his journey on the path of spiritual life. So that Krishna is introducing in this verse, Buddhi Yoga. So Sankhya, Krishna explained. But then Prabhupada explains in the purport that there are three kinds of Sankhya has been there. Uh, so that people may not misunderstand. There was an atheistic Kapila who also taught Sankhya Yoga, but that was atheistic Sankhya. There was no mention about God. Uh, he did not conclude it. He did not conclude that God is the original creator of everything. So that Sankhya has nothing to do with this. And there was a real Sankhya philosophy given by a real Kapila, the incarnation of Godhead. He was son of Mother Devavati. So she taught real Sankhya Yoga, which is actually nothing else but Bhakti Yoga. But even that Sankhya has nothing to do with this, which Krishna is using here, Sankhya. Here, Sankhya just simply means analysis of body and soul. So, not did that philosophy, we will discuss all this thing. So, therefore, Lord Krishna, Sankhya, and Lord Kapila, Sankhya, as Bhagavatam are one and the same. They are all Bhakti Yoga. Lord Krishna said, therefore, that only the less intelligent class of men make a distinction between Sankhya Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Sankhya Yoga Prathagvala Pravadantina Pandita. Of course, atheistic Sankhya Yoga has nothing to do with Bhakti Yoga. Here, the unintelligent claim that the atheistic Sankhya Yoga is referred to in the Bhagavad Gita. But this is not referred. One should therefore understand that Buddhi Yoga means to work in Krishna consciousness. Buddhi Yoga means to work in Krishna consciousness or to work as per the direction of Krishna. Krishna consciousness means same thing. Krishna consciousness means that you are conscious about Krishna. When you are working, you are conscious what will be pleasing to Krishna. That is the meaning of working in Krishna consciousness, and that is what it means Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga means to get instruction, intelligence, knowledge from Krishna and to act accordingly. So Buddhi Yoga means to work in Krishna consciousness in the full bliss and knowledge of devotional service. Full bliss and knowledge of devotional service. One who works for the satisfaction of the Lord only, not for the satisfaction of anyone else. That is the injunction of the scriptures. One should not attempt to satisfy everyone. No. Our duty is, our business is to satisfy Krishna and the pure representative of Krishna, because they are 100% one with the Supreme Lord, one in terms of their opinions. One. The devotees, Vaishnavas, are also one with Krishna, but not like Mayavadis, who think that they have become Krishna, they have become God. No, Mayavadis think that they have become God, but Vaishnavas do not think like this. So Vaishnavas, they are also one with Krishna, but they don't misunderstand that now I have become Krishna. They are one with Krishna means they follow the desire of Krishna. Whatever Krishna wants, they follow that. They have no separate desire. They have no separate opinions. Whatever their opinion, their desire is, that is Krishna's desire. Means whatever Krishna's desire is, that is Vaishnava's desire. So one who works for the satisfaction of the Lord only, however difficult such work may be, is working under the principles of Bhakti Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, and finds himself always in transcendental bliss. This is very wonderful. Generally, in this material world, if anybody is working, everyone is working in this material world. So if out of that work, if one does not get his desired result, or if his expectations are not fulfilled, then he becomes unhappy. This is natural. But whereas the calculation of a Krishna conscious devotee is that if he is working, even if things does not go according to his expectations, according to his desire, but if that result, that thing is pleasing to Krishna, if that is going to serve Krishna, please Krishna, satisfy Krishna, so that also becomes the greatest bliss for the devotee. That's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains in one of the version he writes that the distress or unhappiness, anxiety which I get in the service of Supreme Lord Krishna, so that is my greatest bliss. This is my greatest bliss. So in this way, a devotee is always willing to undergo or to accept all kinds of discomfort, all kinds of distress, all kinds of torture, all kinds of blasphemy, all kinds of insults for the sake of serving Krishna, for the sake of pleasing Krishna. When Srila Prabhupada went to Western countries, uh, so he was advised by some so-called sadhus. Uh, there were already there many sadhus, sannyasis, swamis. They went to the Western countries, but all of them, most of them, rather, all of them also we can say, because before Prabhupada, nobody could actually establish Krishna consciousness. That is a fact. Yeah, but most of them, they did not present Krishna as it is. Some of them, they did not at all present Krishna. But some of them, they tried to present Krishna consciousness, but not as it is. Adulterated Krishna, not pure Krishna. Srila Prabhupada mentions in one of the lecture that do not adulterate Krishna. You must present Krishna as it is, pure Krishna. Then your preaching will have effect. Otherwise, no effect. So some of the sannyasis, they came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, you have to change yourself. You have to adopt according to the society. You are in Western countries. Their lifestyle is completely different. You cannot be so strong in this meeting, in your preaching. You cannot be strong. You cannot force the truth to them, teachings of the scriptures. You have to sugarcoat it like this, they said. And they even told that you should wear pant shirt. If you remain in dhoti, kurta, saffron, people will not accept you. They will think he has come to change our dharma. And you also have to start eating with, you have to start eating non-veg and along with them. You don't, you have to compromise with the principles if you want to really make followers here. If you want that, you should have followers, you should have following, then you should do like this. Srila Prabhupada, and four relative principles. You should never introduce four relative principles, especially this intoxication, meat eating, and illicit sex. If you say, they will run away. And that was their situation. That is fact. That happened when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in 1930s, just imagine, almost 100 years back, when one of some of the sannyasis, they were sent in London to preach. So they just introduce everything as it is. So one gentleman, big personality in London, he approached one of the god brother of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and asked, "Can you make me a Brahmin?" So that sannyasi said, "Yes, of course." Uh, so then sannyasi said, "You have to follow four relative principles. Then you can become a Brahmin." So what are those four relative principles? Then he introduced no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. That person immediately responded, "Impossible. It cannot be done. Impossible." He said like this. So similarly, Sri Prabhupada, when he went, so Prabhupada also knew that it may so happen if I tell them, especially to younger generation, that no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and especially no illicit sex. So they will say, "You, Swamiji, go back to India. We don't want you." Especially, it's very difficult in Western countries. But Prabhupada, he did this. It's very difficult. Young boys and girls, they were living together. Living culture was there. And they were thinking that there's nothing wrong in this. We both are happy, enjoying. What is the problem? But Prabhupada, as soon as some of them they become sincere and serious, he became very strict. Till the time they were not sincere, serious, he just allowed them. You come to the classes, you eat prasadam, chant Hare Krishna, and go back. But those who became serious, and those who desired that I want to make my life successful spiritually, and then those who started desiring to get initiated, then Prabhupada strictly told them that you cannot live together. Boys and girls cannot live together. That is not allowed. Either both of you get married, if both of you are ready to accept the devotional path. If not, if one of them is not unwilling to accept devotional path, then Prabhupada said that you just forget him or forget her, because he is no more interested in Krishna consciousness. So if you get married, then it will hamper your spiritual life, because he or she will have material desires to fulfill, and you will have to you want to follow for relative principles. So he or she will not allow you to follow. So that will be complete mismatch. Uh, Mismatch. So it then Prabhupada said no. But some of them who were both of them became devotees. Then Prabhupada said either if you decide for wife, he said if you want to become brahmachari sannyasi, then you leave your girlfriend, and if not, then you get married. And before marriage, you cannot have any contact. So he introduced like this, and interestingly, they followed it. They did not object, they followed it. Why? Because Prabhupada's preaching was very forceful. He never compromised with the principles. He did not say, okay, okay, you are Western devotees. Okay, for you, this fourth regulatory principles, it's not applicable. Okay, you just follow three regulatory principles. No, not at all. One of the very senior advanced disciple of Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness God Govind Swami Maharaj, uh, who attained Prema Bhakti, Krishna Prema, complete love for Krishna, even while living in this material world, with this material body. Yeah. Several times he went into trance, complete ecstasy. One time it happened, he went into trance for months together. Just imagine. He was such a highly exalted devotee. Prabhupada, in first meeting, Prabhupada declared that he is a devotee, pure devotee by birth. And immediately in 1 year, Srila Prabhupada gave him all the three initiations, sannyas diksha also. He gave sannyas also. And he sent him alone. Yeah, go to Odisha and you preach Krishna consciousness, build a temple there. Such an exalted disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So one of the Western lady, Western disciple, she said, Maharaj, I am a Western lady. I cannot follow strictly all the principles. My lifestyle has been completely different. The way I grown up in the situation I grown up, it was completely different. We have never these principles. We always used to have mixing with boys and girls and everything. So I cannot be so strict. The Maharaj became very angry. He said, "What is this nonsense, Western lady, Eastern lady? Don't you want to become purified and go back to Krishna?" This is the only question he asked. He chastised immediately. And he spoke very heavy on all these things. Girlfriend, boyfriend, lust, and everything. You can hear his lectures. There are many lectures out there. All this nonsense thing that I love her, I love him. You hear his lecture. Even to in devotee circle also. She said, Maharaj, she is a Vaishnavi. I am a Vaishnava. We'll both together will chant Hare Krishna, read Krishna book. महाराज एक्टिंग करके बोलते हैं हाँ सी ऑल्सो एंड देन सी ही एक्ट्स महाराज disciple is telling Maharaj, just see how she is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. How nicely she chants. So both of us together will advance in Krishna consciousness. Maharaj very happy. He used to say that all this is bogus nonsense. Yeah. Nonsense, Baba. You'll get entrapped in material lust. No more Krishna consciousness. Krishna book be lying somewhere, and your Japamala be lying somewhere. Anyway, so without compromise, the preaching should be done. So that is the quality of a devotee, Vaishnava. He is working under the principle of Buddhi Yoga and finds himself always in transcendental bliss. Because one who works for the satisfaction of the Lord only, however difficult such work may be, is working under principles of Buddhi Yoga and finds himself always in transcendental bliss. By such transcendental engagement, one achieves all transcendental understanding automatically by the grace of the Lord, and thus his liberation is complete in itself without his making extraneous endeavors to acquire knowledge. So by such transcendental engagement, Point to be noted. What kind of transcendental engagement? The engagement of in the service of Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna, to satisfy the Lord only, not to the others, not to public. We cannot compromise. We cannot say, oh, we have to speak little bit softly or sugar coating, otherwise public will go away. No, let them go. Doesn't matter. One moon is better than thousands of stars. Prabhupada said this. And the more we have purity, actually, the one who has purity of Krishna consciousness, with that purity, he gets the potency to penetrate into the hearts of the conditioned soul and convince him that, Baba, you give up Maya, you give up sense gratification. That is the effect of preaching. Prabhupada did this, and all those people who were greatly entrapped in Maya's engagement, so they got completely freed from. Of course, those who desire to become free. And this is important. Even if there is a pure devotee who may be very potent, spiritually very potent, but if the person who is in the association, if he has no desire to become free from the clutches of Maya, then the potency is not transferred from the words of the spiritual master, pure devotee, into the heart of that conditioner, because he has just it's just like the rain is there outside, but if you wear raincoat or if you have umbrella, if you are inside the room, so even though there is heavy rain, but still you will not uh, experience it. Why? Because you have covered yourself. Similarly, when we cover ourselves with the desire to remain in this material world, with the desire to go on enjoying in this material world, then the shower of mercy of a pure devotee cannot penetrate into it, and then the person remains as it is. There is no change. But a person, any fallen person, any conditioned soul, if he removes that covering, that I want to enjoy in this material world, if he becomes free from this false conception that I can be happy in this material world, and understanding truly that all sense gratification leads to miserable situation, and then he decides that I want to get rid of it, and desires to become free from all material sense gratificatory desire and all kinds of attachments, and wants to become free from the material entanglement, then if such a person approaches a pure devotee spiritual master, then with the potency of the instructions imparted by the pure devotee, that person's heart is impregnated, Prabhupada writes. Then his heart is impregnated with Krishna consciousness. Uh, it's like a potent husband. If he's potent and the wife, she is not barren, then if they unite, then there is pregnancy. But if the husband is not potent, not potent means the person who is speaking about Krishna, not potent means he is not repeating the message of Krishna consciousness as it is. That is impotence, impurity. Purity means what? Purity doesn't mean that you have to be means like you have to be a Siddha Purus. You have all kinds of magical siddhis. No, that does not require. Purity of a Vaishnava means that he is representing Krishna as it is, transparent via medium. That is purity. If one who is Acharyavana Purusho Veda, one who has accepted the shelter of an bona fide acharya, bona fide spiritual master, and served him nicely, then by the mercy of that pure devotee spiritual master, the person, the devotee, the disciple, she he is convinced of all the spiritual knowledge. All the spiritual knowledge as it is revealed within his heart, and then with that potency, with that purity, when he goes out and preaches, then if the person who is hearing, audience, if they are hearing, if their heart is not barren, then the Krishna consciousness is impregnated within their heart. Means it's a two-way. It's not just one way. The person who is speaking Krishna consciousness, he must also be potent. Potent means he must be representing purely the teachings of Krishna consciousness. I accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the teachings as it is. So he is potent. But the second person who is hearing, so he also must have the desire to become free from the entanglement of Maya. So this is the perfect combination. Then immediately, such a person becomes enlightened in Krishna consciousness and he gives up all Maya. This is very practical. Some or other, all of us, whoever has taken Krishna consciousness very seriously, any devotee who is very strictly following four reality principles and he decided that in this birth only I want to become fully Krishna conscious. So some or other such devotees, we some or other we have this great fortune that we develop the desire to become free from material entanglement. That was, if qualification is concerned, that was the only qualification we can claim that we developed. And how we develop this desire to become free from material entanglement altogether, that is also actually a great mercy of some devotee, either in this life or in previous life. In our previous life, we must have knowingly or unknowingly served some Vaishnava devotee. Then, with that mercy, with their blessings, we got the desire to get Krishna, to have audience of Krishna, to become free from material entanglement. And then with this desire, when one associates with a pure devotee, then immediately his heart becomes impregnated with Krishna consciousness and he advances very nicely and becomes free from material attachments. It may take time depending upon the person. If somebody was previously very much into sense gratification or into the clutches of Maya, for him, it may take little time to come out of those entanglements. But he will definitely come out if he remains under the shelter of a pure devotee with the desire to become free from all material entanglement, then surely he will eventually come out. Even he may be the greatest of the sinner. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mami Partha Vipashritya, Yeopi Papa Yonaya, Stri Vaishya Sadha Shudras, Te api yanti param gatim. Te api yanti param gatim. They will also attain param gati. Mami Partha Vipashritya. Those who have taken my shelter or shelter of my pure devotee. Madashraya. Uh, Krishna explains this. Prabhupada writes in there. Madashraya means either direct shelter of Krishna, just like Arjuna got, or the shelter of Krishna's representative pure devotee. That is Madashraya. Anyway, so in this way, such a person, that is by such transcendental engagement. This is called transcendental engagement. And one achieves all transcendental understanding automatically by the grace of the Lord, and thus his liberation is complete. There is much difference between work in Krishna consciousness and work for fruitive results, especially in the matter of sense gratification for achieving results in terms of family or material happiness. Buddhi Yoga is therefore the transcendental quality of the work that we perform. So Buddhi Yoga is what? Is the transcendental quality of the work that we perform. The work which we are performing, that may be material, just like eating, speaking, hearing, working, using our hands and legs. These are just material things, no? But when somebody performs in Buddhi Yoga, then the quality becomes transcendental. It is no more material quality, and that transcendental quality liberates the person from this material entanglement. Okay. So thank you very much. With this, we'll stop. If you have any questions, you can ask. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Yes, any question?
One small like input to be shared across.
Yes.
I listening everything what was happening. I think so in the